morning, Nishimoto Hawks. It is the week of December 14th, 2020, and it is going to be another Hawk-tastic week of distance teaching and learning. This is the final week of the semester, as well as the final week of the 2020 school year. When we come back next time, it will be 2021. We want to remind all of our students and parents that you do have this last week to make sure that you are making up your missing assignments in your Google Classrooms to try to improve your grades before we end the semester on Friday. First grade will be having a very special distribution this week on Wednesday from 10:30 until 1 o'clock. They will be providing some holiday materials as well as inviting a very special guest to see our first graders before we go off for holiday break. So you will not want to miss distribution on Wednesday if you have a first grade student. On Wednesday this week, we will not have a meal distribution as normal here at Nishimoto. Child nutrition has had to work on a very limited capacity this week. So meals will be distributed a little differently. The district has sent out some communications about that, but if you have any questions, feel free to call us here at Nishimoto. We can let you know how to obtain meals for this week, but we will not be out for meal distribution this Wednesday. This is just a reminder to all of our Hawk families and students. As the COVID numbers continue to rise in Madeira, and we're seeing an alarming number of new cases in our community. This is just a reminder that it's really important for all of us to do our part, wear our mask, practice social distancing, try to stay home as much as possible, and be sure that we're utilizing that hand sanitizer and washing hands frequently. We all want to do our part to keep our Hawk community and larger community of Madeira safe as much as we can. We have a special treat for our Hawk students. We have a very special message from a very special person just to our students. So boys and girls, listen carefully. You are in for a treat.
Happy holidays, Nishimoto Hawks. All right, everybody, get your computers out in front of you and get your work done, all right? That's Santa's list. You want to get on that naughty list. That's the fastest way to do it, not doing your work on the computer. I need you guys to get that work done, all right? Teachers are working hard to try to keep up with that. So please, for Santa's sake and Mrs. Santa's sake, get the work done, all right? Go, go Hawks.
All right, it's birthday time, and we are going to be celebrating a lot of birthdays. I am going to read the rest of our birthdays through the month of December. When we come back in January, we will get the January birthdays that we missed during break. So we've got a lot of birthdays, so here we go. Starting with those students celebrating on December 15th, a happy birthday to Zoe O in Mrs. Evangelista's class and Adrian P in Mrs. Molina's class. Celebrating on the 16th, happy birthday to Maria F in Mrs. Molina's class, Jaslyn F in Mrs. Aguayo's class, Jennifer R in Mrs. Medina's class, and Josiah S in Mrs. Mortier's class. Celebrating on December 17th, happy birthday to Diego B in Mr. Rivera's class, Alexa B in Mrs. Hidalgo's class, Aaliyah L in Mrs. Rivera's class. Celebrating on December the 18th, happy birthday to Alexander B in Miss Vote's class, Gael F in Mrs. Rivera's class, and Isabel V also in Mrs. Rivera's class. One birthday celebrated on the 19th, happy birthday to Jesus A in Mrs. Mortier's class. One student celebrating a birthday on the 20th, happy birthday to Alejandro Q in Mrs. McDaniel's class. Nobody celebrating on the 21st, but we do have two students on the 22nd. Happy birthday to Gabriel F in Miss Shimshak's class and Lynette F in Mrs. Ragsdale's class. We have many birthdays being celebrated on the 23rd. Happy birthday to Ivan G. in Mrs. Harper's class, Danny M. in Mrs. Molina's class, Avery M. in Mrs. Hidalgo's class, Jocelyn M. in Mr. Contreras' class, Nathaniel M. in Mr. Wattenbarger's class, Alexander N. in Mrs. Cuevas' class, and Annabella U. in Mr. Adams' class. Celebrating on Christmas Eve, the 24th, happy birthday to Dulce L. in Mrs. Roach's class, Audrey L. in Mrs. Rivera's class, Omar M. in Miss Vote's class, Yarin N. in Mrs. Aguayo's class. One student celebrating his birthday on Christmas, the 25th. Happy birthday to Josue S. In Mrs. McDaniel's class. Nobody celebrating on the 26th, but 4 students on the 27th. Happy birthday to Santos F. in Mrs. McDaniel's class, Jonathan G. in Mrs. Mortier's class, Franco M. in Mr. Gonzalez's class, and Maricel R. in Miss Shimshak's class. Celebrating on the 28th, a very happy birthday to Rafael H. in Mrs. Hernandez's class. On the 29th, we have 2 birthdays. Happy birthday to Ashley M. in Mrs. Evangelista's class and Juan P. in Mrs. Valdez's class. Finally, our final December birthdays being celebrated on December 31st are Abriana R. in Mrs. Valdez's class and Emmanuel V. in Miss Aguayo's class. We hope that all of our students have wonderful birthdays in December. And we are also celebrating 2 very special staff birthdays. Happy birthday to Mrs. Rocha, who's celebrating on the 18th, and Mrs. Mindren, who's celebrating on the 21st. We just want to remind our students that Nishimoto Hawks don't just fly, they soar. Show respect, offer kindness, act responsibly, and are ready to learn. If you're practicing those characteristics at home as well as at school, we know that you are going to be on the nice list this year. This is our last edition of our weekly video announcements for the year 2020. We want to wish all of our Hawk families a very, very wonderful Christmas break and a very happy New Year. We're going to miss you over the 3 weeks, but we're excited to see what the year 2021 will bring. Merry Christmas.